Okay, we are back to the Legend Hunters play Dark Souls 2.
And after spinning around like a crazy lunatic...
Actually, before I go, let me go ahead and show one of the new features. Torches!
Torches are something that I rarely use, but...
Zero picked up a torch behind the remnants of a wagon.
Yeah.
And it's actually very important that you have a torch.
Yes,
Although,
so you can do the Olympic torch run.
Yeah, but you can also use it to light up these areas.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're going to...
Though I will note, if you ever want to attack as a cleric, clerics are kind of wimpy at first because they don't have a very strong, well, they can't wield the mace properly with one hand. That said, the mace is still enough to kind of pwn these noobs with relatively little difficulty.
So, another thing that I'll go ahead and say about the Saw of the First Sin, if you light all the torches here, you're going to end up with an encounter.
Oh, so you do know what that is.
Yes.
I was hoping to save it for a surprise, but apparently you do know. So never the fuck mind. Oh,
Yeah, that's...
by the way, look over there. Don't mess with them.
There's two over there.
You can't see the misses behind. You can't see the misses, but there is another one hiding behind the cliffs.
As well as another asshole.
As well as another asshole, but that's another story.
Now, I just want to note, that guy didn't see you sneaking up on him with a torch in your hand.
I guess
I think he just has very little will to live.
I was gonna say, I guess he was blind as a bat in the forest.
Do you say he was blinded by the light?
Damn it! Why didn't I take that one?
There's a dagger there.
Apparently, I'm rusty here.
Okay, not quite able to dodge those arrows because we do lack those iframes. There's gonna be another dude right there.
Yeah, why don't you explain iframes to people who aren't familiar with Dark Souls mechanics?
Iframes, they're how you not die.
So in Dark Souls 1, there was.
I told you, there's a dude there.
The iframes were determined by your equipment load, as well as by your dexterity and attunement. Here, you actually get a stat to see how well your dodge is, and it is controlled by a new stat called adaptability.
Mm-hmm.
So here's one of the new things about Dark Souls 2 that they sort of nerfed and fixed is that
oh, headshot.
My phone went off. But one of the things that they did is that they added more stats. So they separated. Dark Souls veterans know that endurance and carry load were considered the same stats.
Yeah.
They separated those two into
endurance and vitality.
I do want to correct one thing. Dexterity actually did not affect iframes back in the day.
Oh, it didn't?
It did not.
Okay, it was just controlled by weight then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Weight was what slowed you down.
Right.
Which kind of made sense in its own right. Like, if I'm wearing heavy armor, I'm not going to be going very far in it.
It still does here, but only to a lesser extent. Here, if you have an equipped load of 69 or less, you will be rolling normally. Anything more than 70, you are fat rolling.
Okay.
Actually,
there are minor differences if you continue to use less weight, but they're not as significant as the adaptability stat itself.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So right
over
here.
Yep.
We have our crows.
Yes, and for the record, what happened in the previous game was in fact a glitch. The crow was simply not talking.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can actually... So there are two crows here. They are Dinah and Tila.
Yep.
So to not
you
die...
almost died!
To not die, you go ahead and go through
to not die!
To not die, just go into your inventory, select the small move as Silky Stone, hit leave.
Do not select leave selected or discard. That will throw it away into oblivion.
So, they will comment once you deposit the proper item.
Yeah.
Now, unlike Dark Souls 1, you don't have to reload your save to get a new item.
Just pick it up.
And we have a cracked blue eye on it. There are multiple items that have benefits like this, and some of them in greater potency.
You did drop the ladder first, right?
No, I did not, and I'm going to do that, and I better hurry up because we're down to about 1 minute of our torch, and we are not going to get the achievement in time.
All right, well, from now on we run.
Or at least I can hide it, and that way it's not entirely pointless. But yeah, as Zero said, there is a summonable phantom if you, or an enemy invader that will occur if you light all the torches.
However, you won't be able to light all the torches in this game until you get a fragrant branch of yore.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah.
because they purposely sealed certain parts off.
There's an area blocked off that also has an Estus flask shard, which we'll get into that in a moment.
All right, now, before we continue, if you're going to be attacking, use it two-handed. It'll start two-shotting those guys.
Especially if you don't have a torch in your offhand.
You're heading back out.
Okay.
Yep.
Especially if you don't have a torch in your offhand.
Yep.
Okay, so this area somehow manages to fuck me over every time. Because unlike in Dark Souls 1, you actually press the L3 button to jump.
In other words, you have to push in the stick.
Yes.
Which can screw you over if you're not careful with how you have your thumbs work.
Yes.
All
Okay,
right.
that worked. Usually the return jump that I mess up. Okay,
All right.
Amber Orb.
Drum
Another new
roll,
item.
please.
This is going to be Legend's favorite item.
Yes.
Slightly
And it is,
restores.
in fact.
It restores spell and miracle and hex uses, whatever,
Yes,
And
which is actually...
And
again,
Pyromancy.
and pyromancies.
Given that I am a mage fiend, this is, again, like Leo says, one of my favorite items. Now, drum roll, please, for Leo's return jump. Hey! There's a ladder here.
I actually don't mess it up this time. Thank God.
Yeah.
Alright.
I should go ahead and mention that we are technically online for these first couple of episodes.
Not that anyone will be able to invade us because... Why?
Because afterwards, for some reason, you need PlayStation Plus membership. What the fuck are you doing?
He's doing the ladder cha-cha.
Note. Running up the ladders. You can actually sprint up ladders in this game.
Oh, thank God for
Okay.
that.
Anyway, as I was trying to say, we won't be able to get invaded because you need PlayStation Plus in order to.
Oh, they removed the pits here.
There was no.
No,
pit.
there's no pit there.
Or I'm thinking of a different area entirely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
you're
is fine because...
kind of being a derp, Leo. Though not surprising.
It's only been 6 months.
If you want to get the plunge attack on this guy, I recommend just walking on.
Yeah,
We come over here and there's a door.
a door inside of a tree. Oh, weird.
Haven't we seen trees like this before?
Cracked red eye ore, which is to invade enemies aggressively.
Yes.
Yes,
And-
Covenants are still back, although it is not as finicky as it was in Dark Souls 1.
Mhm.
So that is the door that you were talking about earlier. Yes, Zero?
Yes,
The one that...
And what's with the dude?
he's petrified.
So we can come over here and see...
Oh, Dix! I remember you!
They're not as bad in this game.
Yeah, to be
There,
fair...
no, they have some new tricks up their sleeves, but yeah, I will agree with you.
But we're pretty much done here, so we are going to go off... Oh, one other thing. You actually don't need a... Oh, yeah, you do. Never mind.
What?
I thought... did they get rid of orange...
No, they didn't.
Okay.
It's just that you were in an area where you couldn't put it down.
Okay, so now you can go ahead and make messages on your own.
All right. And these are very nice in that, well, if someone rates your message, don't you get a health boost?
Yes, you do.
So, little message from the Legend Hunters there.
What did it say again?
Gorgeous view ahead.
All
nice.
right. Legend, or sorry, Zero, I leave the next stop to you.
What? Wait, hang on.
It's Legend.
It's my turn.
No,
after
no,
this.
no, Zero, if you please.
Welcome to Majula.
You have been waiting for years to do that voice.
Yes.
Years. Oh, hidden path ahead, by the way.
Hey, wait a minute. Hidden path is. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, there's nothing
I
here,
think that might have been one of mine.
but it's here.
Ah, the Morning Star,
And
the
the
spiky version of the mace.
And the Cleric's Sacred Chime.
Don't we already have that?
Yes, you do. However, oh, you cannot even. You can use this even less than a mace.
You need a little bit more dexterity.
Then why is it even there? I wonder sometimes.
Well, it's there.
Okay,
so
binoculars. So the last time we saw these were an equipable. These were an item in the item slot.
Now they're in the weapon slots, which is weird as fuck.
But it provides a very significant use. As you can see, you actually go into first-person camera here.
Yes, careful not to first-person camera yourself off the cliff.
Now, what's significant here is that although there is no reticle, you can free aim spells
Yes.
with the binoculars. And prior to the Scholar of the First Sin patch, if you quick zoomed into a camera and then sprinted, you would move faster than what sprint would actually normally do. and this became known as bino boosting for a PvP competitive play.
Nice.
And this became stupidly broken.
All right. Turn around for just 1 second. There was something there that I wanted to address.
Yes.
Note that if you die, you will leave a bloodstain there for other people to realize, oh hey, stupid shit happened here.
As is the norm for the Dark Souls series, like this idiot.
Note, the way we went is the way you're supposed to go up that little ledge. If you want to not die, don't do what that idiot did. Okay,
so we're going to light the bonfire here,
and we're gonna pass it off.
All right.
Legend.
Legend now.
Yep.
Right.
So there's a lady over there.
I'm gonna go ahead and heal so I can get all my stuff back up.
Yeah, because as you rest at the bonfire, you restore your spell charges as well.
As well as recover all the enemies in the field. However, I believe they made a little difference.
But let's talk to her first.
Yeah, we'll get to that subject when we get there. But before I do that,
Okay.
moving ahead. Oh, okay, the one that I'm thinking of is not here.
Are you the next monarch? Or merely a pawn of fate? Bearer of the curse.
I think we look more like a bishop right
I
now.
will remain by your side till this frail hope shatters.
Well, she's clean.
Take this with you. May it ease your journey.
Woo!
Hey,
Glass.
free drink.
One free drink.
Look, scroll through your items.
Hang on.
Okay, we can't. Oh, we can't do that yet. You have to actually equip it still.
He who peered at the essence of the soul. King Vendrick.
And those are the 2 words that you need
Okay.
before you can do this. So in your inventory, I highly recommend switching this out and going for Estus Flask right off the bat.
Note! 1 charge.
Yeah, unlike the 5 that you got in Dark Souls 2.
Apparently that was too easy.
Apparently so, yes. So, yeah, I am going to go ahead and burn up some of these souls.
So like the infographic suggested, you can level up by giving your souls to the Emerald Herald.
Note, if you kill her,
You're screwed.
Yes, so...
If you somehow have her die anywhere in the game, you're screwed. Because, spoilers, you are going to see her again in a different area.
Well, more importantly, you have to pay 2,000 souls if you want to level up any time, amongst other things that she does for you.
yeah, because she'll leave a headstone.
And I'm not talking about TLC.
Yeah, the thing is, if you kill a specific NPC...
No, nothing? No, nothing either from either of you? No? Okay, never
Sorry.
mind. The moment was lost.
Derp.
Alright,
Bearer of
yeah.
the curse.
So,
For misery will lead you to greater,
Bearer
stronger
for-
souls.
No, it's not.
I know
yet.
it's not yet. Bearer for you,
So frail and powerful.
bear, seek, lest.
Yeah.
is what we're going to start mashing out soon. But anyway, talk to her.
Seek those whose lives
Yeah, she does. She likes to ramble, doesn't she?
At first, then she goes, okay, you've heard my spiel before, fine.
I will shorten it.
Once you have found
Now, there is a message that I found right around here that I just had to shake my head for, and I swear it would be right around your alley.
And what was it?
It would be tongue, butt, hole.
Yeah, but the butthole comments are going to be plentiful.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
For as long as we're online.
Yes.
Finally,
bearer
bear,
of the curse.
seek souls, larger, more powerful souls.
Powerful souls.
Seek the king.
Seek the king.
That is the only
That
way.
is the only way.
She actually says something different
Lest
in the
this
original.
land
There we go.
swallow you
Lest the
whole.
land swallow you whole, as it has so many others.
Now, despite what we garbled it out, she actually basically gives you the plot. So, there was a king who once ruled the land named King Vendrick, but he is ass left off somewhere. In order to go find King Vendrick, you have to find 4 powerful souls. So basically, she gives you the framped plot up front.
Yeah.
Yeah, which on the one hand is nice, but on the other hand,
Misleading.
it's still cryptic as
Misleading.
fuck.
And misleading, actually.
Anyway, let's look at the level up. Let's stop dilly-dallying.
No, we gotta dilly-dally. That's kind of our deal. That's kind of our deal. So,
Let's
leveling
see.
up at the Emerald Herald. Now, there is one other little thing that I like, and that is to level up based on decisions that the character made during their journey.
I don't know if we're really...
Which, considering that they were swinging a mace around one-handed,
I would say endurance!
I was actually going to say strength, because they were trying to get it so that they could use it one-handed.
Alright, so I would say endurance because they were swinging that thing around for a long time, and strength because they were swinging that thing around for a long time.
Now, to be
Yeah.
fair, we actually do have a build planned out for this, but we agreed to level it up in this manner.
Yeah.
I'm also going to add one more point into dexterity. Because you made the jump!
Fair enough.
Okay.
Also, take a note that there is a new... That before we had magic, fire, and lightning resistances as well as damages, we also have a new element, dark.
And that one is interesting.
So, very briefly, magic scales off of intelligence, lightning scales off of faith, fire scales off of both, and dark scales off of both, but uses the lesser number of the two. So if you have 30 faith and 10 intelligence, it will give you the bonus for what would essentially be 10 intelligence and 10 faith.
Yes.
So scaling both for high dark bonus is required, whereas fire scales the combined of the two. So 4 intelligence and 12 faith scales the same way as 12 intelligence and 4 faith.
Uh-huh. And we'll be explaining more of this later on as our character evolves.
I-
We're not going to tell you what the build is exactly at the moment, but you'll see as we go along.
I think my comments about it being very cheap already gave it away to people who understand the series, but for everyone else, enjoy the ride.
Alright, let's go ahead and confirm this stuff.
Alright.
Alright, so again, Legend is control, so Legend, let's go ahead and take care of some of the basic stuff in town before we get moving.
Yeah, let's look through
Hey.
Majula.
Hey, look at that. We can actually use the mace in one hand now.
See?
That's very nice.
Yeah, it was just 1 point of strength that you were off initially.
Alright. I did just run past this, but there is a blacksmith here. And he will say so.
Who are you? Oh, it doesn't matter. Just help me open this door. I packed my tools in here.
Also, if you notice, he's undead.
Yeah.
But now somebody's gone and locked the door.
Now, this is one guy I do not recommend killing at all. See, he is a blacksmith.
Nothing without my tools.
So just like Andre in Dark Souls 1.
Mhm.
Anyway, his name is Leningrass.
Yeah, and
He
he's
will,
a good
he
guy.
will, yeah, he will be your friend for quite a while.
Oh, he is your friend forever. Best
Oh, yeah.
friends.
Alright.
We gotta go there.
Alright.
Now, what's interesting about Dark Souls 2 is that you also have the ability to choose different paths.
Yes.
However, there is still a recommended starting point because the enemies in Area 1 are much easier than Area 2.
Uh-huh.
Much like in the original Dark Souls.
5 homeward bones.
The
Yeah.
difference is that Area 2 is much more completable even for beginners compared to Dark Souls 1.
Yeah.
Curse New Londo Ruins.
Oh, fuck that place. Okay, so I'm gonna do something kind of.
No, so you are going to sequence break it, or are you just going to show us?
Not
Legend, why don't you go back because you missed something?
He knows he
I know
missed
what I'm
something.
doing. I know
He's
what
just
I'm
going to go ahead and do it because of the lulls.
You're aggravating me.
Good.
Yes, because that was his intention.
Well, no. Actually, that's never my intention. You just happen to get there,
I-
regardless of what I do, so that just prompts me to want to poke.
I will be back. I need to go take this.
Alright.
Alright, while Leo's derping off, chest ahead.
There we go.
So this is what we were going for.
This was what I was going for. What lies beyond is interesting-ish.
Yeah, so...
I will go ahead and switch that out. I'm not going to be carrying anything that will, get me killed.
Alright, so I guess we'll just put the Cleric's Sacred Chime there.
Yep. And pull the lever! Crunk!
It's the right lever, but we're going a little far out.
I wouldn't say it's the right lever, I'd say it's the left lever.
Ba-da-ba-ba-dum-bum.
Hi.
There you
Bunch
are.
of messages here and there, but I know kind of what they say. There's a Soul of the Lost Undead and a Broken Thief Sword here. That is a terrible weapon. I do not recommend using it at all, especially if you have something like the mace. I have the Crimson Parma here, which is a shield, which is a lot better than nothing.
Yep, and we're going to be needing at least a shield for around here.
And finally,
And we're
looking
starting
to the left.
Do not bug this guy.
This guy will murder you.
as
anyway,
is most of the other dudes in this area.
oh yes, but this area is actually a personal favorite of mine.
Hyde's Tower of Flame.
Yeah, I don't know what this lighthouse purpose was. I'm not entirely certain about it, but I like it. Now,
There are also giant dudes in burly armor and swords here.
yep. And they're not too bad.
Also of note, all enemies who wear armor are weak to maces.
It's strike weapons in general. Although maces and hammers and great hammer are class weapons.
Huh? So let's go ahead and go down here.
As we will find out greatly in the future. In fact, our odds of beating the first first 3 bosses have greatly improved by choosing this weapon.
Legend, it's my turn now.
Oh, right.
Bonfires, checkpoints, remember?
There we go.
So,
Which is going to lead to some slightly schizophrenic gameplay, if you remember now.
what I'm going to quickly do is head back to Majula just for a second because you missed something that irritates me.
Missed a lot of things, actually.
Well, again, kind of the thing that I was trying to do was get a few more souls, grab the shield, and show off the Hyde's Tower of Flame.
Yes, but
Actually,
you didn't even bother to show off the rest of Majula first, which you really should show off the first area before you decide to derp off.
Heck no, there's a lot of stuff that goes here, there, whatnot. And having a shield is a major boon this early on.
First off, you see this rock here. Spank it.
And that is grim.
Estus Flash Shard.
And that is hopeful.
So, you go back to the wonderful Emerald Herald.
So what's with the giant butthole in the ground?
I'm hungry.
That is...
What the hell?
I could go for some bacon.
Oh no.
Oh, don't tell me I aggroed the pigs.
Oh, no.
Oh, I scared you. No, you didn't.
Okay, there are a couple of...
I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. The in-jokes here are terrible. So Estus Flash Shards, since you don't start off with 5 charges, Estus Flash Shards are actually what improve the number of charges you hold.
See, now we have 2.
But that does not improve the actual quality of the Estus Flask.
In order to do that, you will need something called Sublime Bone Dust, which is basically the charred remains of a saint who threw themselves into the fire.
Okay, I just wanted to see how much level we need to level up. But
This is actually not canonical with what we've done, now that I think about it.
yeah, well,
Actually, there's a very interesting lore reason for why Sublime Bone Dust works. But first off, let's meet the other merchant that's here. Leningrass we will unlock later, but this guy is available from the start.
Hello there.
Timid little fellow.
His name's Maulin,
yeah.
by the way,
Have a look
since
at my
Zero
wares.
skipped over it.
I didn't mean to do that. I was trying to speed up just a little.
Speed up Dark Souls.
If you'd be so kind.
Well, we're not exactly...
Bloodborne.
Uh,
But anyway,
Alright.
so Maudlin the Armor is your guy that gets you armor.
yeah.
Um,
The armor that we need for the build, for our build, is not here yet.
And
But if you buy stuff from Maulin, he'll upgrade his stock.
However,
Yeah.
we have no money at the moment.
he also upgrades his stock occasionally after beating certain bosses. But that's... Do not open that chest! Do not open that chest!
Why not?
Because if you do... Because there's a trick you can use to get better stuff later.
Oh, really?
Yes, but for right now, believe me, do not open the chest.
Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough.
Trust me, we will want to wait until we've done certain things first before we open the chest because you will regret it otherwise.
Okay, then.
Alright, and I suppose that'll be part of the spoilers.
All
It's
right.
not really spoilers, but it will be much easier to do.
This is technically a third path you can go through.
But it's death.
But it's death and you can't make it early on, so don't try.
It is
As-
possible to make it early on, but you have to be scary good in order to do it.
So clearly, you've seen the right way and the wrong way to do this. The right way is to wait until you get a ladder, and the wrong way is to fall off as the other person did.
Yep.
And here we have Pussy.
No putting it lightly, huh?
Undead, are we?
Nope.
And one with
Meow.
much time remaining. Just about ready to fall apart, I'd say.
Don't be... What? Hey, go back. Not exactly the time to be chatting with a cat. Well, I'm not entirely certain you are a cat. Because if we turn the camera around just a little bit...
Dark Souls 2, ladies and gentlemen.
You know what? I've actually talked to this cat through the wall there.
Yes, it's also possible to talk. Oh god, the glitches we will undo. But anyway,
Oh, God.
Anyway, the pussy's name is Sweet Chalqua.
And she has an amazing voice.
French as fuck.
She has the silver cat ring, which reduces damage from falling. We might
That's the one I'm thinking of.
She also has
the ring of whispers, which we'll need later.
as,
Well, we won't need it, but it'll make
as
certain
well as some
things
miscellaneous items which she will sell, but we don't necessarily.
You can
need
actually
right now.
give the prism stones to Stunkly the Crow for like some really low tier items.
Yeah, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, especially since you basically be paying 3,000 souls for entire stock.
Well, right now, and that's it, and that's an important fact that you will be undone later.
Okay.
But there's one more thing you can. There's actually 2 more things. Go up the way right there beside the path a legend took. Or
Oh.
completely ignore me.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking of something else.
Yeah, I know. But I was
Derp,
doing
derp,
that
derp.
one first because we're right here.
Okay, yeah, I forgot a few of the things that need mentioned here.
So we go up here, and Sweet Shell Qua will comment about this if you talk to her. But here is one of the first covenants you can come across, and boy, is it a doozy.
This one is evil if you don't know what you're doing.
So what this does is that this is called the Company of Champions Covenant.
Yeah.
If you sign on with them, and there will be 3 prompts asking if you really want to fuck with us, is that it will basically, number 1, prevent enemies from depopping.
Yeah.
Number 2,
Actually,
yes,
I need,
yes,
hang on, there is a caveat to that I do need to address. It does not work for all enemies.
but it works for most normal enemies.
Yes, normal enemies
Most
will
normal
stop.
Enemies that show up only once anyway and depop afterwards will still do that. But
And that also brings up another thing that I forgot to mention. Depopping enemies!
if you kill normally in Dark Souls, if you kill enemies, if you kill enemies and then go to a bonfire, they pop back.
Yes.
In-
However,
in Dark Souls 2, if you do this, I think around 10 times or more, they actually go away for good.
I think it's 15.
10 to 15, I forget the amount.
it's actually different between different enemies.
But generally
yeah.
that amount, and it will cause them to not respawn for good. Which is awesome if you're having trouble with an area,
But it's bullshit if you're trying to farm.
farm or grind.
Yeah.
But aside from going ahead and preventing most unspawning enemies from, most respawning enemies from, to continue to respawn, it also makes them more difficult to injure, they deal more damage to you, and even more enemies will pop up in certain places.
Yeah.
However, if you kill bosses while with this covenant, they have a chance to drop awe stones, which are unique items to the Company of Champions Covenant,
Which you offer to them to boost rank in that covenant.
which grants you very unique items.
Which is very nice, but we're not doing that.
It's
Because-
useful for grinding, but we'll be talking to this guy first.
Yeah, about damn time.
I'm dead, aren't you?
And here's our crestfallen soldier.
Yep. Only, unlike the Crestfallen Soldier, I don't think this guy goes hollow. So it's not recommended that you kill him. Not to mention, he also has one other purpose that is very useful for newbies.
Yes, so literally it goes between very easy to very hard, right out the gate.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And in Dran Lake these days, there are very few places like
You know, you could have talked to him earlier. We could have filled in this information afterwards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I really wanted to get a shield.
No, I meant while we were talking about enemy respawning and whatnot.
I'm
Yes.
sorry.
But his name is
Alder.
Salden.
Yeah.
Yep.
So as you can tell, they actually decided to give people names in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Well, some characters in Dark Souls 1 had names as well.
Yeah, but I mean like the crestfallen soldier, the female undead, the male undead.
Yeah.
There were a lot of just titles and not actual names.
Yeah.
And I would say that it's actually very important that some of these NPCs have names, because with what's been going on right now, I'd say it's very important that you remember the names.
Right, and especially compared to Dark Souls 1, thematically.
Yes.
So, talking to Salden long enough will unveil the other covenant,
Yeah.
which is the Way of Blue, I believe.
Now, the Way of Blue is basically
Here we go.
It's basically a shield covenant.
It's the Way of White from Dark Souls 1.
Kind of, but there is a major difference. The Way of White was basically just, well, the standard covenant for all clerics.
Should we join?
I would
You can-
recommend you.
You can actually join anyway, and we'll get to the very important reason why,
Okay.
or why it doesn't matter. So, what were you saying about the difference between the Way of Blue and Way of White?
Okay, the Way of White is basically nothing. It allows you to buy from the clerics, and it basically marks you as a cleric yourself. The Way of Blue is, well, it basically gives you an achievement for the Path of the Meek, first off. And secondly, if you are a member of the Way of Blue,
Pass the controller.
and
I'm not passing the controller just yet. This is just me warping back to where we were before.
or you want to go through there?
I'm actually pretty good with the area.
All right.
Or do you want to go through
Well, I
it?
was saying because we agreed bonfires. were
Bonfire
checkpoint.
equals checkpoint.
Fine.
But yeah, so but in terms of purpose,
Yeah, the Way of Blue is awesome if you're a new guy, not used to PvP, and you want some help.
because if you get invaded, The Way of Blue makes it so that a blue sentinel will come in and help you if you get invaded.
A blue sentinel is actually a different covenant that you can actually get in this area. Spoilers. And it allows you, again, to be summoned to anyone who is not righteous.
Okay, so pre-version notes. These guys were pains in the ass prior to patches.
They're still a giant pain, but they're not as big of a pain.
No, they were pains back in the day because they would. You see how they're whacking you slowly? They used to just whack you repeatedly.
Yeah, and I believe that guy used to drop sublime bone dust.
But
Used
now
to.
he would drop the sublime bone dust if you managed to kill him, and he would never respawn again. However, in this version, not only does he not drop it, but he does not stop respawning. So you'll have to deal with him. Thankfully, he's not so bad if you have a shield. And
Or you can do sidestepping.
yes,
But anyway, defeat this dude.
and out pops the. Oh my!
Pull the lever!
That's one hell of a lever. He's a born lever puller.
And you see over there...
We just made the boss fight much easier.
So out pops the thing. He pulls on it, and then things get foamy.
Champagne, ladies and gentlemen.
Gotcha.
And with that, we're going to end it off right here. In the next episode, we'll continue on.
Yep, we could go another round.
Bye, guys.
Later.
Ciao.
You know, this should be your shtick, right?